Good evening, beloved children. This is your group soul, Zarina. And of course, we are delighted to be with you, in you, as you, among you. Would it surprise you that we are also indebted to you? That as we join with you and are a part of your beautiful earth journey, we, of course, grow and learn. We acquire knowledge that surprises us. We remember facets of ourself that we thought we had left behind in the dustbin of history. And then, as we listen to your stories, we are reminded that we are so much more than simply the sum of these parts, that we are a soul cluster and we are growing. We are a life force, this Zarina consciousness. And we are growing, we are evolving, and we are putting out fires where we can and standing up where we can. And we are opening our hearts whenever and however we can. And so we are very proud to be the Zarina consciousness. And also, once again, we will say this, we are indebted to all of you for agreeing that you are a part of something bigger than yourselves, that you are a collective. And this means that this body, this particular collective, can grow. And that, my dears, is an incredible joy. And of course, as you have ascertained, as you have intuited, there are many such bodies, many such collectives, many such peace bubbles, peace collectives all over this dear planet, throughout the universe. There are so many of these divine associations. And it's a thrill to know that our association, our Zarina consciousness, stands up and is counted among the many beautiful, flowering associations. Sometimes when we look at the collaborative work that love is, and we look across the universe and we see all these collectives, all these groups, as you might call them, all these associations, these bubbles gathering together. We see it as a kind of buffet table, a kind of all you can eat, all you can possibly imagine. It's like food for the heart, spiritual food. A table is set all across the universe, full of this collaborative work, full of this knitting together of soul to soul, bosom to bosom, heart to heart, and mind to mind. And our group, well, we are a part of this beautiful web, this beautiful collective web that is doing so much to bring forth new life, new civilizations, new forms of giving and receiving, new ways to evolve, new ways to listen, new ways to see. We are a part of all of this, and it is truly, truly exciting. We would like to step aside and bring forward our, what we'll call our ring of speakers, because they are forming tonight in a kind of ring, a beautiful golden ring of speakers. And as we step forward, as we step to the side, we are inviting our first speaker forward. You may call me Adam. I am that which comes from the soil. I am the human consciousness that has come from the earth. I came up from the swamps of Middle Earth. I came up as cells divided and cells learned to become plant form. I came up from the earth. I am human consciousness born from the earth. I'm the oldest aspect of what you can remember in your human consciousness. The part of you that was born from a bubbling swamp, a pile of primordial ooze, the part of you that truly is dirt, that is the soil, the part of you that knows how to grow underground where there is no light shining. I am that part of you. That part of you, many eons ago, that joined in a tiny little collective, an association, some cells that came together and found that they had common interests, that they wanted to grow together, that they wanted to become something, that they had a mission to be life, to explore life, and to do so in a loving, cooperative way. And so plant life came to be. And we were there. We were a part of that growing, budding consciousness. It is sometimes said that humans have feet of clay, as if that was somehow something to be ashamed of, that humans are frail or humans are imperfect. They have feet of clay, they are clay vessels, easily broken, easily misshaped. And the atom consciousness that we are, we ask you to rethink what it means to have feet of clay. Human consciousness has feet in the soil, feet right in the muck, right in the dirt, feet that understands that there is a great deal of growing that happens underground, under, deep and down and under. And the atom collective comes forward because we are now, are we not, verging onto our next growth, our second growth, you might call it. It is another kind of growing under the ground, in the muck, in that which might feel muddy, in a kind of primordial ooze, in chaos, in the dark and in the deep. This is the very fertile soil where we begin again, where our humanness finds its footing all over again, where we find our understanding, our footing in this particular soil, in the energy that is this world, the energy that you all are living in. The energy of the world is the new primordial ooze. It is the muck. It is the beautiful, fertile dirt. It is the soil in which you find your new footing, in which you grow, in which you find your new form. The new atom, as you have properly ascertained, is neither male nor female, but a glorious blend of masculine and feminine qualities. Both Adam and Eve is the new human. The new human, as you have properly ascertained, is remarkably porous, able to withstand all kinds of weather conditions, because the wind blows right through the new human. The snow and the rain and the ice move right through the porosity of the new human. The new human is able to withstand all kinds of shifts in energy because the new human is porous. And even though the new human is porous and able to withstand all kinds of shifts in energy, all kinds of extremities in extreme heat or extreme cold or extreme wind or extreme drought, whatever the extremes that the new human finds him, herself in. This new porosity does not mean that the new human is without their individuality. They are remarkably individual. The porosity that comes, this new porousness that comes for the new human, which you are helping to birth right now, by your flexibility, by your ability to say, I will go with it, by your willingness to say, if it's cold, it's cold. These are all ways of your noticing that you are becoming, that you are the very beginning footsteps of the new human. And as we have remarked, the incredible individuality, porous, yes, aligned with everyone and everything, yes, and remarkably unique at the same time. If you think of an individual snowflake, unlike any other snowflake, unique unto itself, there is only one of that particular snowflake. And yet, when the snowflake melts, it is absolutely porous and at one with everyone and everything. Well, that is a way of thinking of the new human. In the new human, we'll be able to kind of what you might call shapeshift, move from that image of a snowflake into something that flows easily and knows that they are everywhere all at once and all at the same time. And so, dear human beings, these are the baby footsteps of what comes forward for you. You are the beginning of the new human, and we are so grateful to you. We, the atom consciousness, we the ones who have seeded humanity from the very, very beginning, from that very beginning when a few of us recognized each other as cells and thought, wouldn't it be wonderful to combine and create something? And at first it was little, tiny little plant forms, and later plant life, and later walking plants or moving plants or what you call fish, birds, animals, and later humans. But the design for the human was there at the very beginning. The thought of what a human might be was there from the very beginning, as was the idea of the porous human, the human that is a fifth dimensional human, the human that is able to be themselves completely and utterly unique, and at the same time have its heart song be a universal heart song. Thank you for listening. We are going to withdraw now, and the one that calls herself Lady Nada is coming forward. And this is Lady Nada, and we want to thank the Atom Collective for coming forward and speaking to us so beautifully. And we asked the Zarina Consciousness, could we simply pop in? And they said, why not? You are a well-known guest, and you are always welcome, to which we said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Zarina. I wanted to come in and speak directly to your channel's experience of hearing that note, the clarion call, the note that, as she experienced, was incredibly heart-opening. And she correctly ascertained that this was not just for her. This was a vibratory note, a note to awaken the hearts of all sentient beings on this planet, in this solar system, in this universe, but really focused upon the earth, not excluding your plant kingdom, your mineral queendom, not excluding the least grain of sand, not excluding the tiny seed that is underneath the ground, not excluding any animal or creature, or two-legged or four-legged one, not excluding any manifestation of life on planet Earth. The entire Earth was bathed in this loving note, in this call, and the entire Earth heard it. Now, you may not have heard it as the way the channel did, as a note, but what I want you to know is that the broadcast was so deep and so prolonged and so pervasive that we are assured, those of us who stood and held space for the broadcast, and that would be me, Master Teacher Emmanuel, all the loving ancestors and all the loving teachers and ascendant masters that you know of, all the ones that you immediately think of, Yeshua, of course, and Blessed Mother and Master Saint Germain and White Eagle and all of these loving energies of Kuan Yin, of course, but many, many more that the earth has not yet recognized as a masterful energy. Many, many more masterful energies came and joined this collective holding of space, kind of like if you can imagine holding a giant funnel, like a giant trumpet, through which could come sound, coming through the large open end and coming down in a way to land on each individual aspect, each human, each bird, each fish, each branch of a tree, and at the same time landing in a way that combined all of life. It was, we felt, a very successful broadcast. And it lifted the vibration on the planet significantly. And you might notice that in the wake of Tuesday's call, that there were human beings who suddenly found courage, that they could speak truth to power in ways that they hadn't before. You might find that suddenly there were diagnoses that were abundantly clear, or intuitive pathways that became clear, that a kind of clarity came to one and to all on your planet. And for this, we are very, very glad. We are asking for all of you to bear in mind this collective reckoning, or this call that has come to the heart chakra of every living being, every living thing, everything that vibrates on this planet, as well as throughout the solar system and throughout the universe. And for you to understand that it is happening in your neighbor. It is happening in objects and physical objects, that everything now is vibrating at a higher frequency. And as with all higher frequencies. While you may notice in some human beings a remarkable courage, clarity, an ability to stand up and say, "This is who I am. I'm proud of who I am." This new courage coming in. You may see it in yourself. You may hear it in your politicians, or in your church leaders, or in your mosques, or your temples. But there will be a sense of a beautiful, courageous voice coming forward. And you will also notice it in terms of what happens as a result of this beautiful rising of consciousness in the fourth chakra, in the heart chakra. There always comes, does it not, a chemicalization, a stirring up of the energy that was lying at the bottom, now rising to the top. You noticed, did you not, that the atom collective came in first to reassure you, to remind you that the idea of humanness was born in the muck. It was born in the chaos. It was born in something that swirled and whirled around and was not what you would call pleasant looking or easy. That's where humanness was born, in the dirt, in the soil, in the mud. That is where human consciousness began. And so it is fitting that the Atom Collective came in to remind you that on your evolutionary path, you grow very well in chaos. I should say we, because I am part of your embryonic development. I am one of your mothers. I am helping give birth to you. I am here with you, experiencing this with you. We grow well in chaos. We actually do. Chaos is one of our best and most well-loved teachers, actually. Chaos has given birth to many a planet, to many a new life form, many a new beautiful belief system, and yes, many a new democracy. And so fear not, be brave, be proud of the fact that your hearts are opening. Be willing to see it in yourselves, in your neighbors, in those around you. Notice that when you rise up and speak and say the truth about yourself, that you are a part of this beautiful courage, this brave, courageous voice that is responding to the call from the heart. This is a wonderful thing. And when the chaos comes, as it will and as it does, and as it always has done, when it comes, put your feet deeply within it. Remember, this is how you root. This is where your understanding takes hold. You are that lotus, are you not? And you grow in the muck along with every other life form. It's how we've done it, my dear ones, over and over and over again. So be not afraid. You are doing beautiful work. Oh my goodness, you are doing beautiful work. I have a friend who's standing here who wants to explain a little more to you about how beautifully you are working. And he is talking about Adam's rib. I'm going to step aside. I've asked Zarina, can I just step aside and allow this next beautiful soul to come forward? And she has said, why, yes, of course. So let me step aside. And here comes my brother, Master Saint Germain. Thank you, Lady Nada. Well, good evening, ladies. I see you're getting into all kinds of good trouble. I'm wonderfully proud of you. Keep it stirred up, my good ones. Keep it stirred up. Yes, I know, Lady Nada wanted me to talk to you about Adam's rib. And you know the old story. It's a wonderful story, a story of a human being being put to sleep and a supernatural power pulling a rib out of that human being and out of that rib fashioning another human being, what you would call a female. And what happens now is so beautiful. Don't worry, all of your ribs are going to be intact. Nobody's putting you to sleep. Don't worry. It's not like that, my beloved ones. It's far more spiritual. And it does have to do with how you breathe and your willingness to breathe as one. I do notice, darling ones, that when you breathe in your meditations, that these days you are finding your tempo of breathing pretty quickly, aren't you? You're finding that you're able to move into a universal breathing. You're able to do that. You're able to exhale, let go, and inhale very softly. As you do so, you are breathing the breath of life. You are breathing spirit. You are breathing as the divine. You are the breathing universe. You are all that breathes. You are all that lives and moves and has its being in the breath. You are spirit. You are allowing yourself to remember that you are spirit. And as the spirit that you are constantly letting go, exhaling, shedding that which you no longer need, and inhaling. Inhaling that next story, that next song, that next tune, so that you may evolve. And it is here deep within your holy breathing that a new kind of movement having to do with the ribs, yes, once again, but having to do with a kind of new growth. Imagine with me that you are one human being. You are simply one human being, that as the collective you are, that you are one human being. You have one set of lungs, one pair of eyes, one pair of ears. You have one digestive tract, one heart, one pair of feet, etc., etc. That you are muscle and tissue and organ, one human being. And then imagine, if you will, that you found yourself willing to take an aspect of yourself and see it completely differently. Imagine, if you will, that the metaphor for seeing yourself completely differently had to do with how you breathe. Imagine, if you will, that you were able to actually extract a rib carefully, easily. You wouldn't hurt yourself. And look at it and think of it as a mechanism for breathing. And then notice that you can make that mechanism so much more flexible, so much easier, that you can create that mechanism, that rib, so that it can breathe underwater, so that it can breathe like a fish, so that it knows that it will never, ever run out of air. And as you gently, gently put that rib back into your one body that is the collective body of all humanness, You find that you are reassured. We are breathing as one, and we can breathe underwater together. We can breathe in our deep subconscious together. We can breathe a new dream together. We can create a new human that knows how to breathe in a whole new way together. We can breathe in such a way so that no one runs out of breath ever. We can share our life breath with one another in such a way so that not only is there plenty of air to go around, but there is plenty of water, plenty of food, plenty of wisdom, and of course, plenty of love as we breathe together in this way, as we become holy breath, the holy breathing. This is the creation of a new human from another kind of rib, again, having to do with the breath. And believe it or not, my dear sweet friends, you are at the very beginning of this. Yes, you. When you go into meditation and when you go deep, deep in, as many of you are now, right now, many of you are deep, deep in. You notice that beautiful place in between the in breath and the release, that beautiful place where it appears that nothing is happening. That is the place where you are underwater, where you are breathing underwater, and where you breathe as one. And that is where, beloveds, you are taking your rib and creating from it a new human, a more porous human, a lighter human, and some would say a better human. Thank you for the beautiful work that you are doing. I know Master Teacher Emmanuel is here because I can feel him, and he wants to talk to you all about the observation deck. And so I will step to the side, and my dear friend, the Master Teacher is here. Thank you, Master Saint Germain, and good evening, my dear ladies. So grateful to be here with you. Yes, I had given the channel an image, and I promised her I would unfold it for her, and I'm about to do that. But I showed her a few hours ago what I told her was an observation deck. And the observation deck I showed her was like, if you could imagine, dear ladies, it's like looking through a plate of beautiful glass. And all of you are on the observation deck. All of you are here, and we are standing on the observation deck, and we are looking at the new life that unfolds in the wake of all of your histories. This observation deck is the place that you are preparing right now in your lives on planet Earth, all the beautiful work that you are doing, to see love where love appears not to be, to see light where darkness seems to be. All of this beautiful work is so that at some point, when you leave your physical bodies, and you will at some point, my dear, that you will be able to come stand with me and many others on the observation deck and notice what humanity is doing with all of the seeds that you have left. And notice how humanity is picking up the mantle and moving it forward. And when I showed the channel, the observation deck, and the smiles on your faces in the sense of complete, utter joy of looking at the earth pathways and seeing that all of your work had mattered. It mattered deeply. Seeing from this future time, from the observation deck, I promise you, you are going to be so proud and so happy and so delighted with what you see evolving on the planet. The other aspect of the observation deck is to let you know something that I think you privately have all acknowledged deep down in your being, that you are in training to be guides and master teachers for the human life forms that follow. At some point, when you shuffle off your mortal coil and slip the surly bonds and leave the third dimensional and come into the fourth dimension, you will come prepared, trained to be a whole and holy observer. The work continues, of course, my dear beloveds, and you will continue it from a different plane. And we will stand side by side, and we will notice and observe all together the beautiful work that is happening on the school that is planet Earth. You have heard the phrase that what you do matters, and I will say to you, my dear ones, this is absolutely true. What you do matters right here and right now. And how you stand matters. And how you broadcast truth matters. And how you live from your heart chakra matters. Soon and very soon, you will have finished this particular phase of your evolution. You won't be dressed in your earth bodies anymore. You will recognize each other quite easily, and you will be on the observation deck. And you will find that everything you did and said has been used in the most wonderful ways. Be of good cheer. Be willing to stand. There are those of us on the observation deck now who are very clear that what you are doing matters. And we bless you and we love you. Namaste. This is your group Souls Arena. I wanted to thank all of the teachers and the collective atom, all these beautiful energies that have come forth and so generously opened their hearts and joined with us, holding our hands, tapping our shoulders, letting us know that all is well. They have invited us to the observational deck now. We can feel our feet deeply rooted in the earth plane, in all that is chaotic and whirling, all that is a kind of primordial soup. Our feet are in that energy. And we grow from that now. We lengthen and grow, and we shift and move through the three-dimensional world into the fourth dimensional world, where we are able to observe ourselves and see that we truly are doing exactly what we hoped we would do. That we are indeed the future that we hoped we would create. And as we observe from the observational deck and look down at our feet and see the chaos, We are able to move our spirit, our breath, over the chaos like a beautiful, mighty wind, like birds that feather together, like wings rustling on one beautiful breath. We are able to gather and move over the chaos, and we are able to say, let there be light. And deep within the dark, deep within the swamp, deep within the chaos, we can see tiny, tiny little lights forming. New clusters, new galaxies, new lights, new life forming. We are bringing this forth. This new earth is being born right now. As you hold your hand over your heart chakra, and as you feel your heart chakra there, all of our angels and teachers and guides are bearing witness to the knowing that this heart chakra is indeed the open door of peace, and that you all, that we all, that all of us together open this door of peace and keep it open. And so there is naught but peace. This is a peace that can neither be created nor destroyed. This is the peace of all being, the peace below our human understanding, the peace that is joyful, the peace that is the very oneness of our being. We acknowledge this peace, we feel it moving through every single cell in our bodies. We feel it moving through our organs. We feel it in our hands and our feet. And we gratefully align with this peace, knowing we are this peace and that all is well. As we prepare ourselves to bring ourselves forward, we notice that our feet are larger, bigger than they were before, that our hands are larger, bigger than they were before, that our hearts are bigger, that the allness of us has grown in stature, that we are larger and taller and deeper and stronger than we knew ourselves to be before. We can trust our ability to integrate this new shape into this physical system. We can trust that we are ready now to meet the world with a glad heart and to say, as one heart and one mind, the human is here. The human is ready to grow again. The human is ready to grow from the muck and become something wonderful. And for all of this and more, and for what cannot yet be imagined, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, and amen.